Hello everyone, in this video I'll be explaining you the problem. Find the largest almost missing integer. So you're given an integer in nums and an integer k. An integer x is almost missing from nums if x appear in exactly one subarray of size k within nums. Return the largest almost missing integer from nums. If no such integer exists, return -1. A subarray is basically a contiguous, sequence of elements. And yeah, let's go to iPad and understand what they're trying to say. So we have 3471. Okay, find largest almost missing integers. Sorry, integer. Just we need to find one. So in the problem statement, what they've said is they've given an array, okay, nums, and its length is n. Okay, and they've also given an integer k. It denotes the subarray size. So from the nums array, we will be taking subarray. So we should be taking just k subarray size. Okay, what is subarray? Subarray is basically contiguous part of the array. So if you take, let's say, array as a0, a1, a2 up to so on, an s n minus 1 because zero based index I'm taking and it is length n. So what all can be a subarray? A0, A1, A2, these three elements can be considered as subarray because they are in sequence. All are adjacent to each other, 0, 1, 2, okay. But you can't take A1, A2, and A3. This is not a subarray, meaning the reason being is that here A2 is missing. If you take in array, so A0 element we have, A1 we have, A2 and A3. So this element we are not taking. So it's like it is not contiguous. Okay, whatever chosen, I mean element we are choosing, it's not contiguous. Somewhere in the middle element we have not taken. So it's not an subarray, but it is a subsequence. So this is just like what is subarray and subsequence. So let's stick to the problem statement. So they'll give an array A, array nums of length n, and they'll give an integer k, which is basically subarray size. Now what they've asked is we have to take all subarray of size k. Okay, we have to take this, and when we take this among all the subarrays, let's say we have some multiple subarrays. Among all these, whichever element has occurred only one time in one particular subarray, that we need to return. Basically, what they're saying is we have multiple subarrays, okay, and let's say the element one has occurred here, but here in this subarrays the element one is not occurred. So this element we need to return, and there may be multiple answers. Let's say we have seven has occurred in this, but it has not occurred in these two subarray. So among 1 and 7, what is maximum 7, so we need to return 7. Okay, and also there will be case wherein your n is equals to k, meaning what is the length of the array? It is n, and the subarray that we'll be choosing is also equals to n. Basically, k is equals to n. So entire subarray you just have only one subarray, and in this case, you can take elements such as this way, right? Now we have just one subarray, and for this answer is 7. Why? Because this 7 is present two times in one subarray. Okay, it is not present in other subarray. We just have only one subarray, so it is present in just one subarray. So that is the main thing they're asking. Okay, so let's understand the example. You will be very clear. We have 392 and 17. K is 3. So we need to take 3 lengths subarray. So what all you can take? You'll take these 3. 392 1 subarray. Now you'll be taking 921 contiguous. Okay, 921. This is subarray. Next will be 217. 217. So these subarrays we can make out of this array whose length is 5. So if you see in this subarray, if you see, you'll check 3, right? Is 3 occurred in these two? No, it is not occurred. So 3 can be your answer. So answer, let's put it as 3. Let's check 9. So 9 is occurred here. So in this case, 9 is occurred here, right? So 9 can't be your answer because it has occurred in this, other summary. What about 2? 2 has occurred here and here, so it can't be. Okay, so we have checked all elements of this. Now let's check for this element. So 9 and 2, since it is not, so we'll be checking 1. Is 1 occurred? So 1 is occurred here. So 1 can also be not. Now let's go to this subarray. So 2 we have already checked. It can't be. 1 can also not be. 7 can be. Is 7 appeared? So 7, if you see, it has not appeared. Okay. 7, it has not appeared anywhere. So what is maximum? Maximum 7. So this is your answer. I think you understood. And if you take other example, let's say you have 0, 0 as the array element and your k is 2. Since here n is 2 and k is also 2. So if you see, you have just one subarray, which is 0 and 0. And what is your answer in this case? In your case, answer is 0 only. Okay. Why it is 0? Because we have just one subarray, and this 0 is not occurring in any other subarray because we don't have other subarray, right? It may happen that the 0 occur multiple times within the same subarray. That is cool. I mean, that is good. We can do that. So your answer is 0. And they're saying in a case where, let's consider the example. Okay, we have 0, 0, and your case 1, this is array, and its length is 2. So since it is asking one length, okay, so this is one of the subarray and this is one of the subarray. So you have two subarray. Now you will be checking 0. If 0 occurred in, is 0 occurred in other subarray? Yeah, it has occurred. It has occurred here. So 0 can't be an answer. So in a case where you are not able to find any element uniquely, so in that case your answer will be -1. Understood, right? So how can we proceed, you know, in order to solve this? So what we'll be doing is, let's write algorithm. We'll take a map, okay, and the key will be storing array element, and the value will be frequency of that element. Frequency of that element, okay. So so what we'll be doing is now we'll take a loop which will run from 0 to n minus k, okay. Why it is n minus k? Let's say your n is 5 and k is 2, and I'm writing just indexing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the index of the array. So two elements you'll be taking, right? So you'll be starting from 0. So 0 and 1 you have taken. Now 1 and 2 you have taken, and 2, 3 you have taken. Then 3, 4 you'll be taking. So I can go from 0 to this is n minus k, right? N is 5 minus k is 2, which is 3. So when you are at I is 3, so you will be able to choose still the subarray of size 2. So that's the area n minus k. Then I'll build for every I, now I need to take these subarrays. So I'll be starting from 0 to k minus 1. And in this frequency, I'll be just, inserting nums of I plus j. Okay, plus plus I'll be doing. Meaning I'm checking the frequency of these particular elements. And once we have done this, now initially I'll take my answer to be -1. Okay, now I loop over this frequency map, and I'll be checking if the iterator dot second, because in iterator second we have a frequency value, right? If the frequency is 1, then I'm going to update the answer. Your answer is going to be max of answer comma the element. What is element? In iterator dot first. Else you don't need to do, because if the frequency is more, you don't need to do anything. So, and then at the end you need to return the answer. Okay, and one thing we are missing here is that we have taken example, right? One example 0 comma 0, and your k was 2. So in this case what will happen, you will be returning as -1 according to this algorithm. Because what we'll do is you will be having just one summary, right? You have just one summary, and in that case your frequency of 0 is 2, because one summary you have frequency is 2. And here this answer variable will not be updated because frequency is 2. So if condition will not be evaluated true, so in that case you'll be returning -1. So in order to handle this case when n is equal to k, so before doing these things we will be first checking, can we do the above algorithm or not. So we'll be checking if your n size of the array is equals to k. So in that case you need to return the max element. Okay, as I said, like when you have just here I said, right, um here I said, right. So this is, let's say, one of the subarrays. So in this case you need to return the max element. So in that case uh, you'll be looping over your vector nums, and your answer is gonna be max of answer comma num, and at the end you need to return this answer. Okay, so I think you guys have understood how we are approaching about solving the problem. Okay, this is like algorithmic way, but the other way, easy solution could be whatever element you're taking right here. This is my array. So only these two, this element and this element, is not appearing in the subarray, repetitive subarray. Rest all element is going to, it's going to be repetitive. Because when you're taking 392 and then we're starting with 921, so 9 is repeating. Okay, and then since 9 we have taken in 921, when we're starting with 2, 2 is repeating 217. And we don't have a subarray of starting with 1, we don't have subarray of length 3. So that's the reason only these two element whatever we have, right? So these two element is the one we need to check uh, if this element is already appearing in this remaining. Okay, if you check this particular 3 is present in this from 1 to n minus 2 size, So if it appears, then this 3 can't be your answer. If it doesn't, then you can think of 3 can be your answer. And similarly 7 you can check it. Okay, if 7 is appearing um, from n minus 2 to up till 0 you can check, because it may happen that these two elements are also same. So in that case we don't have answer, right? So we can do of this way as well. But first let's do this algorithmic way, then yeah, we'll do it that way. The one I said, like right now approach, I thought it no only, so we'll code it up that way also. So first thing first, we'll take n as the nums dot size, and we need to check if n equals to k, which means we will be having just one subarray. So in that case, our answer is going to be, initially I'll initialize answer as -1. Since all the elements are from 0 to 50, so -1 is not present. So I'll take answer as max of answer comma num, and we need to return this answer. Okay, if n is not equals to k, which means we have multiple subarrays. So in that case, we have to take map, as I said. Let me call it frequency. I'll take two loops starting from 0 till n minus k, and I'll take one more loop j less than k, because the second loop is like you're taking k subarray length, of k. So I plus j plus plus I'll be doing. And now I'll be checking in this particular frequency key, if the frequency of that particular element is 1, which is unique, then your answer is going to be max of answer comma arbitrary dot first, that value. Okay, and we need to return the answer. uh, 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 um let me check what we are missing. Okay, so till here it is good. Now the thing is frequency. Okay, we have taken map of intent, and we're starting from 0 till n minus k. Okay, it shouldn't be frequency of I plus j, it should be frequency of nums of I plus j. My bad, because that particular element we're taking, right? It is running fine. Let's try to submit. So this one got accepted. And if you try to analyze the time complexity, this is taking O of n, but if n is not equals to k, like worst case, so here we have two loops, so it is n into k, right? And what is k and n max values? At max we have 50, so 50 cross 50, it's like 2500. So that's the reason n square solution is getting accepted. But now when I told you, like, we need to check only the first element and the last element, right? So we'll do that approach as well now. Let's remove this frequency. Now what we can do is, this is corrected when n is equal to k, so in that case we definitely have answer. So yeah, this is already taken care. Now first element is check against all other elements. Okay, now take a loop, start from 1, because first element is a 0. We'll start from 1 and check. If we find nums of 0 is equals to nums of I, then we don't have answer. So answer will be -1, else break. And before this, let's make sure answer is nums of 0. Okay. And once we have done this, now what we are going to do is um, we'll check the last element. So it will be from 0 till n-1 I plus plus. Now you need to check if nums of n-1 is equals to nums of I, so we don't have answer. So answer will be -1 and then break. Okay. Let's do it this way. Here we can take bool answer first. Let me mark it as true. Here we can make it as answer first as false. Like first element is not the answer. Okay. Then we are breaking. Similarly, let me take here also bool last answer, answer last. It's like last element is the answer. We are first initially checking. If that's a not case, then last answer is false. Okay. Here I'll be checking if answer last and answer first. Like both the elements could be our answer. So in that case, we need to return max of nums of 0, comma nums of n-1. Okay. Else if just the last answer, uh, so last element is our answer, so we need to return nums of n-1. Else we need to check if answer of first, then first element is answer, so answer of sorry nums of 0. In case last and first and last element are not answers, so in that case answer will be -1, which is what we are returning. Okay, let's try to do it this way and check. It is running fine. Let's try to submit. Wrong answer. K is 1. Mhm. I got when K is 1, we are taking just one elements. So in that case, 10 is like maximum. So 10 should we have to return, not just first and last. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, we can here check. Okay, if k is equal to n or k equals to 1. So in that case, whatever is the maximum element will be an answer. Let's run it and see. Hmm. Okay, this will not work. Hmm. When k is 1, so yeah, frequency we'll have to take care. So I think the previous solution is only correct. This one, we'll have to again fine tune a lot. But since here n is like just 50, so the previous solution got accepted. Uh, this one. But when n is having like 10 power 3 or 10 power 4 value, so in that case, I guess a difference array we should take, and we'll solve that. Let's see if we have larger test case similar problem for this. So tomorrow, let's see if that problem we have, then we'll be using difference array, we'll be solving it. So yeah, thank you guys.